aware, we are moving our HE provision from Buxton over the next few years. So as the Vice President Activities, how will you make sure that the students there still feel represented and a part of the activities that are by the union?
So I think it's using the Buxton chair more and having an outreach, that sort of sense. So both the Sports and Societies Council encouraging more sort of trips to Buxton and be like, look, this is where are your outreach? If you have a problem, feel free to talk to us. You know what I mean? We're all part of the sort of same university. Have that chance to talk and create more dialogue and sort of really sort of amp up the look, chat to us. You know what I mean? It's not that far. Happy days. Threw me off there.
Sorry.
So, if we go back to the manifesto questions. So, your third manifesto point is to help grow and sustain SLSs. How do you plan to do this, and how will you build on committee training?
So I think committee training because of how unique each different student service is, training needs to be responsive and reflective to their needs. So say the training for RAG won't be the same as for Phantom, that kind of sense. So I think it's getting your input and really driving home that kind of thing. What do you want, which you think will make your service better? And also adding in, first aid training. I think every committee member should, as a whole, have first aid training. Makes sense.
And your final point talks about improving social media outreach for societies. When you say you want to train committee members to use social media more effectively, what exactly is it that you mean by effectively?
So having better outreach, and also a lot of societies have sort of closed off groups on social media where they only target their own members, preaching to the converted. So I think using the union marketing team more in training, which has started this year, but also really driving home that look, this is effective marketing, this is how you appeal en masse and that sort of sense. And also again using Phantom as that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a really underused tool which could be great for promoting yourselves and other societies. It's we can hit all the campuses at one. You know what I mean? I think it makes sense.
So a few more from me. So this one's a bit of a scenario. So as Vice President Activities, you have a few activities to plan, and there's a certain few events which all happen within the same month. So if elected into this role, how would you go about planning the sports awards, the community awards, varsity, as well as our all boys girls event, which happens for the sports teams, which all do happen within a month?
Lovely. So I think we've already got links to a lot of community sort of venues. So Green Pride Park, we already have that established, which has been fantastic for both reports and the community awards. And I think it's also like using the activities team as well, that sort of sense. So for being organised, that sort of sense, for contacting the old players, that kind of sense, to get them in, make that event even bigger. And I think it's just literally organisation, using your team and using the links we already have. That sort of sense, I think. And maybe start it early as well. Don't leave it till a month, because I love it.
And another one for me is, when coming up with your manifesto, how much research did you put into creating it?
So this year, being society's chair, I've had a lot of experience with societies. So I kind of knew the needs of what they want, as say help in certain societies. Approving new societies, we see the things which they need to do. I think in terms of sport, that took a lot of research. I think that was just going and just speaking to captains, speaking to what's the problem with sports at the minute, which I think I've started to tackle. And then with student, I've been on RAG, that sort of thing. I've had experience being on a student-led service, and again, these are sort of things we sort of notice and speaking to them, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think a fair amount. So.
Yeah, it's fine.
And finally, why do you think people should vote for you, and where can people find out more about your campaign?
So I think people should vote for me. So I'm really pushing the sort of mental health thing, as I say, which I think is really important. And also, I want to sort of speak to sports, society, everyone really wants to hear that sort of thing. And this sector really grow. And yeah, so that will manifesto, but if you can come with the time, like put together, so that's the right part of like that is.
Cool. So thank you for being chatting to us. Voting closes midday this Friday, so we can vote.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready, Charlotte? Ready? Cool. I'd like to start by talking about the end of your opening statement in your manifesto. You say, "I believe that if we are all in this together, we can achieve many incredible things." Were you to be elected, how would you incorporate this belief into the role of VP activities?
Sorry, I couldn't hear the end of that.
So if you were elected, how would you incorporate this belief that we can do incredible things into your role as Vice President activities?
For example, for books and like the sports clubs, I reckon like if we improve match day experiences, it improves everyone in general. So if they can be able to have the support and the belief with everyone like believing they can do it, it can improve their like they can achieve like win tournaments, win their league, and like create a good atmosphere for everyone.
You mentioned the You're Not Alone programme, which would include mental health awareness training within sports and societies. Would this be alongside the EDI training currently offered to sports and societies and SLSs? And would SLSs be able to benefit from the new training?
So what was that?
So for the mental health training,
Yeah.
how would, so with the sports societies and student-led services currently have the EDI training, how would the student-led services benefit from the new form of training that you're suggesting?
I've spoken to some people that like they said like it's just like finding the time to actually be able to do that training because not many people actually have access to do that training. For example, in Buxton, I spoke to some of the club societies that haven't actually had this kind of training. So maybe if we like focus on communication across all sites and also club societies properly, maybe we can actually try and sort out the whole like sort out sort out the program. Basically, like it's either like for ways, example, like students from like club and societies can basically like sign into like a text message or an online system. Basically helps put like positive, motivational like comments and stuff like that, so they can receive every day. So it can help them, like for example, match days on a Wednesday. If they receive a text message saying you can do it, don't look back. You can actually achieve them this game. It might give them high hopes and actually achieve better than like in the game, whatever they're playing, sports and stuff like that. The societies will just help them for their events of what they're trying to achieve in general and what they believe in. So I'll try and incorporate it that kind of way.
Okay, so question from me is, can you name our 2 chosen charities that we have this year, and also how you plan on getting more students involved in RAG?
So what was that?
Can you name our 2 chosen charities, and how would you get students more involved in RAG?
Honestly, I'm not aware of the 2 charities because it's not really like for example, it goes back to communication. So we need to work on communication to actually go back to like all like Buxton and Chesterfield for us to actually know what the charities are and how we can actually help and get involved to actually achieve what the charities' aims and motivations are.
Your following aims regarding the sports rallies and events. How would you combat the issues that may present themselves, such as noise and crowd control? For example, music can only currently be played in the atrium from 12 until 2 p.m.
I've talked to a couple of people about that, and I'm aware of that. But I was thinking of only putting 3 main sport rally events. Basically, there'll be one start with the pressures, one just before the Christmas break, and one after everyone comes back in February. Basically, all sports teams all gather together. We get to know like the spirit. Like some of them might be at the top of the league. We want to try and motivate them to carry on to actually achieve to win the titles, like competitions and tournaments. So those are kind of like direction I want to try and go. So we can actually hear me properly.
Yeah.
So one of your final objectives is to increase outreach for Phantom Media and Phantom events to the campuses at Buxton and Chesterfield. How do you plan on doing this, and what benefit do you think it will bring to Phantom Media and Phantom events respectively?
For example, like in Buxton, not many. If you go to any student at the Buxton campus and ask about the facts and media and stuff like that, not actually aware of it. So basically, like for example, I've heard that you do like radios, phantom radio, phantom media, like TV programs, stuff like that, services. I reckon it will benefit the students at Buxton, so it makes them more involved, and also the students at Chesterfield, even though they're on placement, they'll still have like a platform to go back and notice what the university is getting up to and how everyone can like join up together. What I believe in is basically like even though you've just taken part or like you've just been there to attend something, you should be like rewarded and like made sure like you're a part of like some of the success of the team, something like that. But first I'll go for like the sport awards. Everyone in like the whole sports club should get an award, like a certificate or something. We'll try and get one of the each of the club societies, all the sports clubs, presidents to sign the certificate, and also the president of the student union in the future to sign it as well. They can all receive like rewards about all the achievements they made. For example, if they just even finish at the top of the league or bottom of the league, they're still taking part because it takes really a lot of guts to actually take part in tournaments and stuff like that. And also for the varsity community award. So what?
You have to plan these events. How would you go about it?
Communicate with all of the sport clubs and all committees, like the committees, and actually ask like who like done well in their sports, just training, in competition, the league, and try and get all the names down and like get certificate done for every single one of them, and also try and what was it? But so just it kind of depends on how like they want to be like rewarded or like seen as success, because many people want different, like they prefer different things. So many people don't like want to be like well and like get shown, oh yeah, well then you've done this, and then get promoted up to whole university. Some people like prefer like well done, just get certificate, goes to your records, stuff like that. Depends if the club actually wants to have a big reward ceremony, and if they do, we'll invite all clubs to actually come and attend, and people who do want to receive a reward, they'll receive a reward of certificates. And if teams win the league and stuff like that, they'll try and put that right at the top, like on the websites, all social media platforms. For example, and stuff like that. Yes, Snapchat and Instagram.
Did you read that question? No, I was going to do it.
What I've noticed is that mental health is becoming a real problem, not just in university, like in general in society and stuff like that. For example, one of my manifesto points, what I want to really try and do is sort out mental health. For example, I've heard there's loneliness at the campus at Kettlerston Road in the atrium, so I want to try and like improve that so club societies can like get together and do like big events or like small events to try and get everyone involved. And also, definitely want to try and do my receive a text message or like email, anything kind of message to get on a day-to-day basis. we can receive like good, positive, and motivational quotes or anything to just help you like lift up your mood on a lift up your mood on a day-to-day basis. And people should vote for me because I believe in diversity and I believe in culture and pride, and I believe that we can achieve many incredible things, and if we all put everything, if we all like put the effort and join together, we can like it can be something incredible, basically.
Believe in Portugal.
Thank you very much. That's everything from us. Something will edit out the that's what we do below.
Yeah.
Hers.
Yeah.
That's fine. Thanks, Alan. Oh, no. What? Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for actually trying to set this up, because I know that from books and I can't get back to you because tomorrow, but I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.